What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some more NBA news to talk about with you guys. This time we've got a lot of news surrounding the Cleveland Cavaliers and a potential Dennis Schroeder trade, with it now currently being reported that the Cavaliers continue to express major interest in potentially trading for Dennis Schroeder using their trade exception, and this is all being reported by Brian Windhorst off ESPN. Now, I'm guessing by trade exception, what this could actually mean is we just give up a player and we don't have to make up, any really, salary matches. This exception, I think, might be because Ricky Rubio is, of course, injured. So I'm guessing the Cleveland Cavaliers will have some sort of injury exception to go get a player that's worth a decent amount. Dennis Schroeder is on about $5.8 million, so it is a really interesting thing. And of course, it did look like that the Boston Celtics, for a long time, were actually potentially looking at trading Dennis Schroeder now. And again, there was actually a trade package revealed that suggested what the trade would be. And if you're a Boston Celtics fan, you're automatically thinking, why would the Celtics do this? I don't even understand. Basically, some reporter actually came out the other day and said that the trade that he's heard is actually potentially going down would be Dean Wade, Kevin Pangos, and a second-round pick for Dennis Schroeder. And again, this would be extremely weird if you're a, of course, Boston Celtics fan, just to kind of think about this trade getting done, because look, Dean Wade is a pretty solid player, but you're pretty much just trading Dennis Schroeder up for Dean Wade, and I just don't think the Boston Celtics would do that. I still feel like Dennis Schroeder has some worth in this league. And again, Dean Wade is having a pretty solid season, averaging 5 points and 3 rebounds on about 36% from 3. Can guard the small forward, can guard the power forward. He started 20 games this year. Still a starter right now on the Cleveland Cavaliers because Markkanen, of course, has gone down with an injury. And again, Wade is averaging around 19 minutes per game. So he is still starting on the Cleveland Cavaliers. So basically the Cavs, I guess, would be trading a starter. But again, a player like Kevin Pangos really doesn't have any value in this league. He's averaging 2 points per game, 0.5 rebounds, 1.4 assists on 23% from 3. Credit to him, he hasn't really had any game time at all, so that 3-point percentage is kind of irrelevant. He's only actually averaging 7 minutes per game. He's only managed to play 21 minutes. Hasn't really been injured at all. Just, again, hasn't been that good for the Cavaliers, good enough to start him. So again, that kind of makes a lot of sense on why he hasn't been playing, and this and that. He's just not that great. And then again, that second round pick would just be, I think, a random second round pick that the Cavaliers have gotten from a contending team. Now, as a Cavs fan, I actually am pretty strong on the Cavs not doing this. And you might be saying, well, if you can get Dennis Schroeder for that little, why wouldn't you do this? And the reason I wouldn't do this at all if I'm the Cleveland Cavaliers is because I don't think they need to bring in a shot-creating guard. I think if you're going to bring in a shot creator, the last position you would need him to be is a point guard. Because right now on the Cleveland Cavaliers, Darius Garland is the starting point guard, averaging around 20 points and 8 assists per game on 37% from 3. Then off the bench, you'd of course have Ricky Rubio normally, but Rubio is injured. But now you have Brandon Goodwin, who is, again, a fantastic player. I think one of the most underrated in the league, averaging around 6 points per game, 2.5 assists on 15 minutes. He signed a 10-day deal when the Cavs had no point guards. Then, again, he ended up getting upgraded to a 2-way deal, and now I think he's going to get upgraded to maybe a 2-year deal, non-guaranteed or something like that. Meaning that the Cavaliers need to potentially get rid of some players here to make this happen. And again, they've still got Rondo. So they got 3 point guards. They don't need a shot-creating point guard, Dennis Schroeder. What they could use is maybe a shot-creating, forward, I think. And again, I wouldn't go after a dude like Brandon Ingram or someone like that. That's just too expensive. There would have to be some forward out there right now who is looking for a new team, who I think the Cavaliers could 100% go after. Again, Terrence Ross is more of a wing, but he does fit maybe that category. Caris LeVert as well could maybe fit that category. It's just, again, the Pacers are asking for 2 first-round picks out of Caris LeVert. And again, the Celtics should not do this trade. I think if I was the Celtics, I would rather just get a random, I would just get a random role player and 2 second-round picks out of Schroeder if that's the best I can get. I don't think Dean Wade is really too much necessary for him. Plus, I don't think the Cavs should even really trade him. They should be looking to waive or just trade Kevin Pangos or someone like that before they do Dean Wade. I think Wade's still starting for them, still an important bench player. If I was them, I would probably look to trade a dude like, again, Kevin Pangos or maybe even Dylan Windler could be the other dude that maybe gets tossed around here and there. Because, again, I really do think they need to extend Brandon Goodwin. He's been very good for this team. And, yeah, I can't see Rondo really being on the team next year as well, especially if Ricky Rubio gets that extension. You'd think they'd just roll with Garland, Goodwin, and Rubio for that time being. So, they don't need Schroeder. They should just go out and get a forward that can create his own shot. There are dudes out there. You got to look for them because, again, I'm sure there's going to be someone out there who's looking for a new team that you could maybe trade for that injury exception. It's just, yeah, there's going to maybe be some salary matching involved, this and that, but he's definitely out there. Again, Terrence Ross would actually be a guy that would be pretty interesting. He's a wing, so I'm not too sure how much he kind of suits in with this whole situation. But I do feel like he might be the favourite. I also thought that potentially Karis LeVert could have been a favourite, but they just want too much for him, so I really don't know about that one anymore. And yeah, look, I feel like if the Cavaliers were to get a player like Dennis Schroeder, it would most likely just be a short rental player, unless they were like, well, if we have Schroeder now, do we really need Colin Sexton? Again, the only way I would see them getting Schroeder in is if it was maybe a short rental player, or if it was maybe like, well, let's trade Colin Sexton for a wing or something like that in the off-season, or a forward that can shot create. Maybe a Sexton and a couple picks or something like that for a Brandon Ingram would be a suitable thing. But again, honestly, with how good Brandon Goodwin has been and how much cheaper you could bring back Brandon Goodwin and how you'd probably get Ricky Rubio back next season, I don't really feel the need for Dennis Schroeder on this Cleveland Cavaliers team. But hey, if a trade is being suggested up, which again, to remind you guys, it was Dean Wade, Kevin Pangos in second. If the trade is being suggested up, that kind of makes me think that maybe this trade is a lot further down the line than we actually think. And look, the Cavaliers really aren't losing anything. I just think that you just rather bring back Brandon Goodwin. Like, he's been so good for the team. I know he's a little short, but I really hope they give him the contract because I do like him and he seems to be a dude that just is absolutely trying his hardest right now for the Cavaliers. So I honestly kind of just want want them to make it happen and bring back Brandon Goodwin. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to comment in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts and opinions on the Boston Celtics potentially doing this trade? Should they get rid of Dennis Schroeder? Should the Cavs maybe trade for him? Definitely let me know your thoughts and opinions on this down below. And who would win the trade? I guess that's another interesting topic. Let me know down below. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/long channels if you haven't already. And my podcast channel where I've been uploading a ton of clips from my CHB podcast. Again, I'm trying to get an episode out every week. It's not always going to be the case, but I will really try with it. I am really enjoying making them. So again, go subscribe to that channel if you haven't already for all the latest CHB podcast clips. But as I was saying, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.